everyone, welcome back to In the House with Jenny and Toni. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Toni Singh, here with my co-host
Jenny Woon.
And today's topic is winning tactics to gain a competitive edge. So the episode theme is strategic and actionable steps to gain your competitive edge. And I guess to start us off, I will ask you a question, Jenny. My question is, what sets you apart from the other 14,000 realtors that are out there in Metro Vancouver, and why do clients choose to work with you?
Good question. Well, the truth is I'm an average salesperson, but I am great at organizing. And so with those skills, I've been able to build and operate a team and organize people and train them to accomplish a single goal, to sell homes. So I build strategic platforms for both real estate agents and for developers so that they can be great at their job and providing ultimately the best customer experience for the buyer. So what I've really done is with my business is take it to the next level where I'm doing less transactions and working on the road, but being able to help a lot of the members on my team and being able to help all the salespeople that work for developers.
Yes.
And just make them better salespeople.
So when did you function, I guess, out of individual realtor or running your own team to these strategic partnerships and alliances?
Yeah, I mean, when I left the corporate world of the developments,
yes.
I operated solo and I was still working for developers, but what got me to expand on my team and pretty much duplicate my system fivefold, just because there's 5 members on my team,
yes.
Was the time when I was burnt out. You know, the time I actually was running a whole bunch of errands and in between showings. And I remember I pulled over to the side of the road to take a 20-minute nap. And that's when I knew my business model needed to change. And
how did the nap go?
It was the
was
best
it good?
nap. It was the best nap in the world. I mean, it actually allowed me to re-strategize, rethink that this is not right. It's not right for me to lose energy and to not think of my health.
Absolutely. So it sounds like that was the catalyst kind of for you, where you were like, yeah, I should build on my competitive advantage, which is forming these strategic teams and alliances, and implement that into a business strategy. What steps did you take to implement your unique selling proposition or these teams? Like what steps did you take to implement them into your business plan?
It's what I did to establish my brand was hiring a professional branding company to get my message out and to tell my story. So the type of questions they asked me, actually I'll give you a background of how West One Real Estate came.
Yes, do.
How it was born. So I love the West Coast baby. And my last name is often mispronounced as One. And
yeah,
so,
I pronounced it that way for like 10 years.
we just told you today. Yeah. And so I actually came up with West One Real Estate Team. And it was as simple as that. I didn't want it to be Jenny Woon and Associates, Jenny Woon and Group, because this is a business. I want to sell it one day as a business.
Yes.
So I wanted it separate, have its own separate identity. And I knew that in order to keep the loyalty of my team members and to give ownership to my team, I wanted it to have its own brand. And so I hired a professional marketing company to put together the color themes and the logos and put a story behind that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What would you say your niche is?
I mean, me independently of my team, we're actually similar, so I guess I could just say me. My competitive advantage is excellent customer service. And our business plan and the way that we deal with all of our clients from intake throughout the process and to have them reach their successful goals in real estate is very consistent with the customer care that we take them through. I would say as well that even for the future of our business, we've been implementing protocols and flow, I guess, so the process that we take everybody through in many different types of scenarios. So dealing with a variety of different types of clients and also personality styles. So in that way, it's a bit more methodical than when I had first started out. And then for my team, so I'm at Bel Air Realty Group. We're in East Vancouver. That's the name of the brokerage. It's actually my family's brokerage. But our brand and our business conveys the values that we have when working with our clients through our other platform, which is Real Estate with Real People. And I find that when we were starting from scratch and figuring out what was important to us and our team, we were able to have that come through, I guess, all of the components of the process that we take the clients through so that they can feel it as well. And it's better alignment, I think, with our brand.
Have you found any difficulty or challenges where it took you to where your brand was challenged or your reputation was challenged in a way?
Individually, not so much. I mean, I think in every real estate agent's career, if you're operating as a solo realtor, there will come a point where you have someone at some point that's unhappy with something, because we're only human, and sometimes, you know, it's inevitable that that would happen in any profession. So I had that happen. I don't actually I very rarely have that happen, but the first time that I did have that happen was when I was newly licensed, and it was a communication issue. It actually wasn't due to anything that I had done in terms of advising someone, you know, in how to purchase real estate. It was just a consequence of something else that happened that they wanted to put on me. So that was really the only times.
Let's talk about, you mentioned real estate for real people. That's the feed that you and your brother
yeah, I know what I was going to say.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we started it because at the time, and you had actually talked about this on another episode, we started that brand consistent with our values because at the time, realtors were really being scrutinized in the media. And it was interesting because sometimes when we would go out on new appointments with people, their perception of the industry overall was pretty much like, you know, oh, you're just a realtor, you just want to sell me something. And that's just not the way that my team and I operate. We don't see it that way. I am here to help guide you. We are here to help guide you achieve your goal and make it happen if that's what you want.
Right.
If it's not what you want, then we're not going to be working together. But I understand why the industry itself has, you know, it's kind of painted that way in the media, like greedy realtors. You just want to sell me something. You don't genuinely care about me. So Real Estate with Real People was really to show a variety of things. One, it was to be put into place for education for our clients and other consumers. Two, it was a platform that we're using to be completely transparent because I want to be who I want to be.
Right.
And I want you to be who you want to be. There's no point adding in salesy, quote unquote, salesy stuff in order to make people's dreams happen. Plus, I didn't come up with the dream. I'm just helping you on your path.
Right.
You know, so Real Estate with Real People was created out of that, where Warren and I, Warren is my brother, we both felt underappreciated. We felt that the profession was tainted in a way in the eyes of the public media. And we did want to place greater emphasis on communication, full disclosure, and transparency.
Right. That's amazing that you were able to take that experience and then create a brand or a message with that. How many episodes are you in now?
You know what? That's such a great question. I don't know. We have a content calendar, but we end up changing it all the time because there's been so many changes, as you know, with real estate regulations, things that have been imposed, mortgages, all these kinds of things. So we try and keep it up to date, and sometimes the content calendar actually gets missed.
Right.
And then we have to sub something in.
Yeah, there's an infinite amount of information that we need to provide to our buyers and sellers.
So much. So I would say, if I were to wager a guess, I don't rightly know, maybe 40, probably less, 30.
How does someone, it took me many, many years to find my unique selling proposition or my superhuman power that I know that will give me a competitive edge. Someone who is just starting in the business, or maybe someone who doesn't even, they're just kind of day by day working their butt off. How do they get started on, what kind of advice can we give someone who wants to select a niche or even communicate what their niche is?
So I think it could start with analyzing your weaknesses first.
Oh, good one.
Because from there, then you'd truly be able to see your strengths. And let's be clear, everybody has weaknesses, folks. If you don't, you're not human. So it's okay to have them.
I'm perfect.
Yeah. You actually gave me your weaknesses in the first business plan that you gave to me.
Oh,
I'm like, wow.
Gosh.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really revealing.
I actually wanted to say one other thing, if I can.
Sure.
Because you said something a bit different. You said superhuman strengths. I like that so much. And so I wanted to be a bit more clear. When I said that my competitive advantage is customer care, it is. But the superhuman strength that allows me to provide the customer care is actually, it's going to sound crazy, but it's the truth. I'm very intuitive. That's a skill.
That is a hard skill.
It's a hard skill.
Deep down inside your stomach.
But what it means, and I've never believed in this stuff either, that's why it's so funny. However, I've learned to embrace it. So intuitive meaning I'm very good at finding the right match, finding out what the actual motivations of our clients are, because sometimes they'll say something that they want. I'm like, that's not what you want. And they don't even know it. So from there, we're able to build out the customer care based on what they truly want to happen.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think that's
a high level of emotional intelligence there that you have to have.
Yeah, it's scary because I've also been able to predict scenarios, which I wish that I wasn't able to. And I don't know if it's just that I said it and then it happened, but it happens a lot.
Manifestation.
Yeah, I'm like, that's going to happen.
I mean, I would say I have really good instincts or intuition as well.
Yes.
Professionally. In my personal life, I tend to ignore them for some reason.
Are you amiable in your personal relationships?
A little bit.
That's okay. That's why you overlook it.
I mean, I listen to it, but whether I act on it or not, that's a totally different story.
It's probably a better thing because my husband would say that I'm a driver, even in our personal relationships. It's not great. Because I don't do it on purpose, but sometimes I think he feels like I'm bulldozing straight over him.
Right.
And I don't have that separation between business, driver, personal relationships, driver. It's just that way all the time.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I tend to be the same way as well, and my personal relationships tend to take a toll on that.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely, because I don't know how to back down. It's just my DNA.
Question though, when you say back down, you mean in regards to your opinions on something or a desired outcome?
I tend to drive a desired outcome the way I want to go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm very opinionated, but I'm also very open-minded. But I almost take it too far where maybe I'm always right. Maybe sometimes.
That's a classic weakness of driver personality styles.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think when it's not actually about being right and you can just embrace it, then it's okay. But we should one day have a separate episode on personality styles and either business hiring for team members on personality style and or how to deal with clients that fall under different personality categories.
Yeah, there's some really good tests out there actually. The Myers-Briggs.
I've used that one.
The Gallup. I forgot.
You sent me one that I'd never heard of though.
Clifton Strengths. Or 16 Personalities.
It was that one, yeah.
That's a really good one. And
I liked it. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Go online, 16personalities.com. I do it almost every other year. because my situation changes and my business model changes and where I am in life changes. So
does it change the results every year when you do it, or is it mostly static?
I've seen it change, maybe like 1 or 2 personalities, because I believe I'm an executor.
Yeah.
So
we were the same, except for I'm actually an introvert, right? And you're an extrovert.
No, I'm not. I maybe a little bit higher, but I wouldn't call myself an extrovert.
But it was weird because when I analyzed the results, so I am not actually this way. I'm not actually that outgoing. I'm more introverted. I have to be away from people and have my quiet time.
Right.
Yours said the opposite. I know.
I would probably say I enjoy my alone time.
Yes.
But when I have to put my game face on, I'm ready.
So guys, we haven't actually gone off on a tangent here, even though it feels like we have. I'm going to tie it back to the fact that we said, how can you access your competitive edge and competitive advantage? You can do so by looking at your weaknesses. One way to figure out your weaknesses without blinders on is to take one of these personality tests.
Actually, before we started, I had you take one.
That's right.
And like you mentioned, like we're very similar in certain ways, but we also we took this journey in our career very differently too.
We did.
So I'm really glad that we're able to do this together and share our stories.
Yeah, it's so fun. Do we want to leave it there? Is there anything else that you want to add, Jenny, that you think we've missed or you want to elaborate on?
You know what? I'm good. I just want everyone to know that if you hone down on your skills and know what your unique selling proposition is, you will be able to enjoy your job a little bit more, just because you're going to be working with people who you like.
Yes.
And you're going to gravitate to them. They're going to gravitate you, and it's going to be a magnet situation where you're going to be servicing to clients who enjoy, the same type of values.
Absolutely, and there's nothing greater than that, working with people that you truly, love and appreciate, and who also love and appreciate you.
And I think that's about it. Let's wrap up to this, and I'm really enjoying our conversations overall. And like we mentioned, we love to hear from our listeners.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate your time. Again, if there's anything that you want us to focus on, any topics, please, the only way we'll know is if you get in touch with us, and we are willing and able to formulate episodes surrounding that. So we wish you a great day, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.